my god, Jampina made a video on BFDI! Yes, I did, BFDI fan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, for one reason. Aha! During the summer, I began rewatching BFDI. I could have gone into anything else, but I was missing the nostalgic, you know? At first, I watched it with my twin and we had a great time watching it since early season BFDI is insanely funny. Guys, please stop skipping early season BFDI. Anyways, I didn't like Leafy. She was obnoxiously nice, and if you didn't reciprocate her feelings, she would just claim you to be an enemy. But upon closer look, not that close, I found Leafy being one of the most compelling and misunderstood characters of the show. So let's talk about it. Hi, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Jampina. I am a VTuber and I talk about things that I really like on this channel. And currently that thing is object shows. I know I have a lot of fans who are object show fans and are in the OSC community. So hi, nice to see you. Disclaimer, obviously you'll have to have a little bit of context of what BFDI is before watching this video. Not that you really need a whole lot anyways, because the show is literally just Total Drama Island with objects. So yeah, let's get started. Recap time. Leafy is introduced and she is a nice, welcoming, and extremely giving object. She gives up a lot for the other contestants and she wants to be everyone's friend and have everyone like her. Her mental image of herself is probably that of a saint, thinking that she literally can do no wrong, but that is a lie. In reality, if she doesn't get her way, she's extremely cynical, impulsive, and dare I say manipulative? During the beginning of the series, it's easy to like her until she does things like throwing people under the bus just to keep herself in the game longer. She does this multiple times. So yeah, she wasn't particularly the greatest person, but most of the cast are oblivious to her act and those who aren't use it to their advantage to win challenges. However, Bubble is the first character to call her out on this. It's the reason why Bubble can't truly be friends with Leafy. She sees right through her and isn't buying it one bit. However, I will admit, Bubble becomes extremely mean to Leafy during BFB for practically no reason other than she just doesn't like her, which is a complete tonal shift, but I mean, whatever. There is a method to her madness. Though the other contestants were the nicest towards her, even though she was nice towards them, she was able to save herself from elimination all the way up until the end. It's because for the most part, voters liked her. So I guess for BFDI standards, the strategy worked out. Until it didn't, but we'll get back to that later. But by the end of BFDI, the challenge over and Firey winning Dream Island, Firey refuses to allow her inside of Dream Island. He hurt his feelings after she told him that she wanted to get off his Ferris wheel. I understand how this can seem like she didn't like Firey, but in her defense, it was literal lava. It was going to kill her. She snaps. After all she's done for him, for everyone, not to even be let inside the island, she calls up the announcer and steals Dream Island back. It causes a huge uproar, and once they all realized that it was Leafy who stole Dream Island, they were ready to literally execute her. But in a shocking turn of events, Firey forgives her, understanding that his anger was really just miscommunication and should have never been taken that seriously. I'd love to say this is how it all ended, but no. In early BFDIA, he pretends to not know who she is, and later we find out that the reason he treated her like he didn't know her was because he saw the way that nobody was attacking him after he had fled off with her. Simply put, being associated with Leafy would put him in trouble,
so he pretended
not know who she was at all to save himself. Honestly, I think is worse than just saying that he didn't want to be friends anymore to her face. This puts Leafy in an extremely tough spot. She can handle the other contestants being mean to her, but having someone she considered her best friend acting like she doesn't exist threw her over the edge. This leads into probably her worst era, Metal Leafy.
I'm glad that I'm not too needy.
Being exiled in Yo-Yo Land really does a number on people, and coming back didn't make it any better. It just showed how much nobody trusted her nor liked her. Eventually, she was taken out by Gelatin and wasn't seen again until late season, having being brought back by Firey, who didn't even have the courage to greet her, leaving her like he's done multiple times before, and no one knows what she's doing currently in BFDIA. I personally like to think that during her time in Yo-Yo Land, she was able to actually think critically about her actions and her behaviors. I mean, since no one else trusted her anymore and she had no friends, she had nothing better to do. Anyways, for continuity reasons, and since I personally like connecting BFDI and BFB together, I'm just gonna say at some point during the start of BFB, she thought that she was able to get a new start. After all, it's a new season means new fans, and people didn't know what she did. Not even some of the other contestants know what she did because there was a new cast. So she got comfortable quick in her new position, until almost immediately losing her cool and getting eliminated. Like I said, in the beginning, Leafy is impulsive. A lot of her nice actions come off off as disingenuous because, well, sometimes they are. However, I don't think that's the case all the time, and hear me out. I think she just has a misconstrued idea of what being nice really is, and sometimes in an attempt to be nice, she ends up hurting other people, not realizing her own strength nor how her words can affect others. I think a big example of this is when she tried taking control of her group in BFB. She wanted to help them truly, but by helping them, she pretty much put them down, which led to her group ostracizing her and her eventual elimination. Simply being told no can push her off the edge completely, and she could hold season-long grudges over things that were misunderstanding. She is stubborn, and it's not even until late BFB where she realizes how her stubbornness hurt other people, how it hurt her best friend. Even at that, she still has a long way to go until she can truly realize how her actions affect others. I know some of you are going to hear me say all this and respond with, "You're looking into this a little too deeply. This is a show about talking objects." And yes, I am. But besides the fact I just really like this show, Leafy as a character is the one I connected with the most. Getting a little vulnerable here, a lot of how she acts is how I behave myself. I'm not as public about it as Leafy is, but when in private or when no one's watching, I tend to get extremely impulsive and upset if I don't get my way. This used to be really bad when I was a young adolescent. Now growing up just a bit, I can safely say that I've made great strides in making sure that my impulsivity doesn't get the best of me. Because like Leafy, it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help me, doesn't help my friends or family, leaves me hurt, and in worst cases leaves people who I love hurt. Watching the scene between Leafy and Firey after they finally completed their arc and got over their differences really hit home for me. Seeing how much it all meant to Firey, with Leafy finally understanding how much she hurt him, it made me happy to see her growing, even just a little bit. So no, Leafy is not manipulative. She is not the nicest all the time, and that's okay. None of the contestants are, and we shouldn't judge her so harshly for trying to express herself even if it's not the healthiest. She's trying her best to learn how to actually be nice, and we've seen progress with her taking the fall for Firey and other characters on multiple occasions. She should absolutely be held accountable for her actions that leave other people in danger. However, treating her with scrutiny and exile isn't going to help anyone. It makes the problem worse. The best outcome that Leafy could have gotten was for the contestants to actually understand her better, not just treating her as a pawn to get further into competition, nor being oblivious whether on purpose or not of her actions. Instead, genuinely holding her accountable for the things that she does in a manner that still allows her to have room to grow, instead of immediately putting her down for it. And for the love of God, stop abandoning her and celebrating whenever she's gone. Yes, they literally do that. Overall, during the finale of BFB, her and Firey arc gets wrapped up pretty well. They weren't able to get the Dream Island they wanted, or any prizes for that matter, minus the ones that they got while competing, but it was okay. Instead of trying to find Dream Island and some prize, they were going to make it together, setting off into the sunset, ending BFB. I say, just give her a few months of community service and lifelong therapy. Case closed. Thank you so much for watching until the end. It means so much to me, truthfully. I didn't expect anyone to really watch this. This video means a lot to me, and just generally, Leafy means a lot to me, so thank you. I put a lot of thought and effort into making this, and made sure I watched every single episode with her in it. And other news, school's taking up a lot of my time and mental capacity, which is making it harder for me to even be an online personality. I am so very sorry that uploads and streams have slowed. I'm trying my best to get back on a roll without missing a bunch of schoolwork, and just generally giving myself room to actually breathe because my mental health hasn't really been the best recently. Regardless, thank you for listening to this insane rant about a goddamn leaf. There's definitely going to be more BFB and just general object shows related videos in the future. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!